All right, it is Monday, April 6th, 2026. It's 6 p.m. We'll call our meeting to order. Start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we'll have the roll call.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickle,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Hollister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haliger,
Yes.
Bennett.
She's
Yes.
She's on Zoom.
Who's on Zoom?
Thanks, Jan.
All right, can we get a approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Hollister, seconded by
Hayward.
Hayward. All right, we have no discussion. Take the roll.
Rickle,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Hollister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haliger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
All right, we go to item 5, which is our executive session, and it consists of a closed session under Iowa Code 21.5(1)(c) to discuss strategy with counsel in matters that are presently in litigation where its disclosure would likely be prejudicial or disadvantage to the position of the governmental body in this litigation.
Motion to go into closed session. Second.
Got a motion by Hollister to go into closed session. Motion by, seconded by Coleman.
And Mayor and Council, for the record, as city attorney, I do find there to be a legal cause and support for this closed session. So if you vote to go in, on my advice, I think it's appropriate tonight.
If there's nothing else, take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Hollister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haliger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickle.
Yes. Okay, I guess we'll go into closed session.
There'll be one no.
Boy, called in the reserve.
Got two in there. Is it hot? Okay, Mr. Mayor. Too much hot air.
You're getting an award.
Yes.
We're out there. Which is kind of sad.
Yeah. Let's take care of this. Me too. I've been about this thing,
All right, now that we're all back together, we'll continue on. Item 6 is our public participation. Is there anybody who wishes to get up and address the council? Anybody on Zoom? Okay, if not, we'll move along. We get to presentations, and item A is the ILEAP presentation by Chief Brendan Zeimet.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, citizens of Maquoketa. I'll start this briefly and then I'll turn it over to Mike Venema. A couple years ago during my annual report, I came to you and told you as chief I have some lofty goals. And one of the things I said is I wanted to be known as not just one of the best departments in eastern Iowa, but one of the best departments in Iowa. Tonight, we're going to receive an award for an accreditation process. And while that doesn't mean our goal has been reached, it's a step in that direction. So we continue to work hard and become the best department we can. So I'll let Mike go from here.
Well, that'd be sure for me to. Mayor Messerly, council members, citizens of Maquoketa, tonight we celebrate an important milestone for your community and recognize the outstanding work of the Maquoketa Police Department.
Your police department has voluntarily undertaken and achieved accreditation through the Iowa Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, a challenging process that reflects a deep commitment to professionalism, transparency, and continuous improvement. This is more than a certificate. It's a recognition of excellence in modern policing. Accreditation ensures that the department follows current professional standards, delivers law enforcement services effectively and efficiently, and reduces risk and liability for both the agency and its members. The process formalizes key management procedures, builds staff confidence, and strengthens public trust. It also provides outside independent validation that the department is meeting high standards and is committed to ongoing evaluation and improvement. By earning this distinction, the Maquoketa Police Department demonstrates that it has a strong set of written directives, welcomed outside critique, achieved a significant accomplishment, and is committed to regularly updating its policies and procedures. Chief Zeimet, Assistant Chief Thompson, and Officer Rouse, and all members of the department, your professionalism and dedication reflects great credit upon this city. On behalf of the Iowa Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, congratulations and thank you for your commitment to your profession.
I won't take up too much more of your time. A little bit of a thank you. One should be to retired Chief Brad Caranda. He set this in motion by getting us involved in the Lexipol process, which updates our policies, and we continue down that role. The other thing is Officer Rouse, she was on modified duty for a while last year, and she was instrumental in making this process go, and as well as Assistant Chief Thompson. They deserve the lion's share of the credit in all of this. So just another round of applause for them.
Hey, Penny, can you share your photo with me once you're finished? Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, we move on to the public hearing. It's a public hearing on a request to rezone property submitted by Big Country Properties LLC. Property being identified as parcel 1451830003400 and legally described as parcel 71-2025 in the city of Maquoketa, Iowa, and as disclosed by the Plat of Survey recorded on September 14th, 2025 as Jackson County Recorder Document 25-2739 from R1 Residential to A1 Agriculture District. So go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll introduce the topic. This is the public input sesh for this agenda item as a result of a planning and zoning recommendation to rezone 35.72 acres of property from residential 1 to agriculture behind Timber Court and Timber Drive, much of which is in floodplain territory. I've laid out reasons subjectively why planning and zoning make that recommendation as a result of staff's recommendation and some larger discussion at that time. I've cited our city comprehensive plan in this background. We've worked with the applicant and worked with the neighborhood towards a potential solution. Still required for any ordinance change is this public hearing. So without any further ado, I'll turn that over to you, Mayor, and then turn that over to whoever wishes to speak.
Okay. Well, anybody want to get up and address the council on this matter?
City Attorney Herman, we're going to address the council opposing this petition. Petitioner as the moving party.
Set up to the mic, please.
Also, we'd like you to limit your comments to 3 minutes.
This is Mike Malloy, the attorney for some residents in the neighborhood.
Petitioner as the moving party here should proceed forward first as they are making the rezoning request, and then we have the opportunity to respond accordingly. If they're not going to address the council, we'll go forward.
Well, counsel, at this point, the petitioner has submitted a written application. It's presented to the P&Z, and the P&Z has made their recommendation to you. Is there anything you want to hear from the petitioner, the applicant, before we hear from anyone else? And I guess the question for the applicant, is there anything you'd like to add at this point in addition to the application you've submitted? Okay. So the applicant's indicated through their attorney that they've submitted their application. Obviously, this has been talked about a number of times, and they have nothing to add at this point. So I think it can be open to Mr. Malloy and anyone else in the room to comment at this point.
Thank you. Mayor and members of the council, my name is Michael Malloy. I'm a Quad City attorney with law offices in Davenport, and I'm here tonight opposing this rezoning on behalf of the Timberhood neighborhood. And first of all, I'd ask anybody who is opposing or leaning against the rezoning to please stand or raise your hand. As you can see, there's numerous people in the neighborhood in the particular zoning district that are opposed to this. First of all, of course, this is a repeat of an earlier rezoning that was turned down by you folks in 2025. And now the petitioner has filed a lawsuit against you because you denied the rezoning. Now, we believe that lawsuit is frivolous, and we also believe that it is extremely unusual for a rezoning petitioner to request a rezoning from R1 down to A1 agricultural. I'm sure you've seen many petitions over the course of your tenure that go the other way. Normally, you're requesting a rezoning from A1 to residential. You go up in the rezoning classification. You don't go down. Now, we tried to meet with the city and petitioner earlier this month, and that meeting did not happen, even though we were prepared to meet. You folks just had a closed session on this particular issue, and we don't know of what was discussed or what any possible settlement agreement is. We're not opposed to a settlement agreement if we know the terms and the conditions, and we're a participant in that agreement. But right now, we're in the blind because we know that there is a potential settlement agreement. We don't know the actual terms regarding transfer, for instance, of the buffer zone between the petitioner and the City of Maquoketa, rezoning of the other land, restrictions on the A1 rezoning such as solar, other types of restrictions regarding the type of fencing that the city would propose. And of course, whether this petitioner can come back in the future and seek some sort of future rezoning that obliterates any potential settlement today. Think about what the petitioner is asking you for. This property should remain R1 unless there is a mutual agreement between the parties. You folks should vote it down. It doesn't matter what Plan and Zone Commission recommended to you. You're the deciding body. That was a recommendation. You vote to decide whether to rezone it or not. And you've heard a lot of these arguments before today. You heard them last year. And I believe the vote was, I could be wrong, I believe it was 4-2 or 5-1 against the petitioner's rezoning at that time. At this time, there is no reason for us to change our position opposing it, because we have not been made privy to the exact terms of any settlement agreement. We don't know what those terms would be. And therefore, the prudent thing for you folks to do is to vote the rezoning down and then negotiate with the parties to try to reach a settlement agreement that may work for everybody. Everybody's got to be part of a settlement agreement for it to work. And on that note, I would just respectfully ask you to vote this down, and some of my other residents wish to speak.
Is there anybody else who wants to get up and address us? Three minutes.
Okay. Mike Schmidt, 1603 Timber Court. I would like to say that I was really hoping for a resolution to this issue. I think it would best be related to not even really be a compromise as much as a concession. I feel like this is being brought in a very late hour again, as it was last time, with not having enough information at this time.
Hey, Mike,
I can say for myself, I'm not opposed.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How do you feel about it going A1 as opposed to R1? What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
Well, we met with Josh and the city attorney, and we talked over some compromise information. We went back as a body and discussed it, and we're certainly open to that compromise. And I think part of that compromise was for that 35 acres to be A1. And I can't speak for everybody, but I would speak for myself that I was hoping to have conversations with Mr. Steinis and his attorney or anybody else involved, and that did not happen. And we were there, we were ready. We did go ahead and talk with Josh and, got some information. So we're not completely unaware, but we didn't have, I would thought by today, we would have had more sooner than this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
I'm Nicole Shipley, 901 Timber Drive. I want to just again express my appreciation. I know this has been a daunting process for all of us involved. Also was hopeful for a compromise here and continue to be. That's my nature. One of the things that I want to call out is that the P&Z vote, again, was a split vote, 3-2. It was not unanimous. I also want to say that with the unknowns, if this were to go forward, A1, do we have guaranteed protections in that buffer that's been discussed? In what order of operations are these things occurring? Are we as residents, in the event that something gets signed without knowing those terms, at risk that the buffer may not go through? There are more steps involved. I'm not sure. So that's a concern that I have. I also can say that I have empathy and considering the situation and the investment that Mr. Steinis made in the property. Also, as Mike had said before, we want to see people come to the community and be successful. I don't want to be anybody that holds anybody back from that. I've never lived around agriculture in my entire life. I still will have those safety concerns. Cattle get out. We've had them get out on that parcel. So just a few of the things that are on my mind, and understanding that one of the other things brought up in the agenda packet is the need for housing in the community. Our comprehensive plan has 15 years left on it. That's a long time. And there was, to quote one of the phrases in there was, maybe not specifically quote, maybe I'm paraphrasing if I find they wanted to make sure that there was a variety of homes, larger homes, attracting and retaining young families. I feel like, you know, there's potential in that land, as I've heard from a council member previously, that, you know, what is today doesn't necessitate the opportunity for the future. And with 15 years left on that comprehensive plan, I think more important than the number of times the word housing is mentioned is the context in which it is mentioned. And that's quite a packet to get through, but I've been in it a lot. Just a few things to think about. And again, I'm optimistic that we can come to resolution. I just wish everybody had a seat at the table and respect was being served. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
My name is Jim Tynes. I live at 1602 Timber Court with my wife Christy, and we both oppose this rezoning.
Okay. All right, is there anybody else who wishes to get up and address us?
Austin Daniels, 1703 Timber Court, and my wife Stephanie and I oppose the rezoning.
I'm Jason Clark. I live at 1608 Timber Court, and me and my wife Amanda oppose this rezoning.
Tabitha Hazenbank, 906 Timber Drive. Me and my husband Nick oppose the rezoning.
Anyone else?
My name is Marie Young. I live at 808 Timber Drive. My husband is Brad Young, and we both oppose this rezoning. I also want to share a few opinions with the City Council tonight. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry that we are still here having this discussion. We understand, this group with me here tonight understands clearly that planning and zoning plays a critical role in protecting our city's long-term land use vision and ensuring that requests are evaluated through the lens of the broader public interest. The state of Iowa's smart planning framework states that zoning decision-making should be consistent, transparent, and grounded in long-term community benefit. And that word transparent is where I have serious concern. Throughout this process, there have been a lack of visibility, in my opinion, into what agreements, conversations, or considerations may be influencing this request. We, as directly impacted residents, have not been privy to key discussions or this settlement. We've requested engagement, and it has not been granted. We continue to receive new information at the very last minute, and this has been a trend throughout this entire process, last-minute information, sometimes as little as an hour before the meetings, which did occur this evening, leaving very little opportunity for thoughtful review or meaningful input, not just from us, but for you. You have an important job to do, City Council, and you're not getting information in a very timely manner, in my opinion. This is not a process that reflects transparency, in my opinion, and it makes it difficult for residents to feel confident that decisions are being made in a way that fully considers the broader public interest, not just the interest of one person. The proposed rezoning doesn't advance the city's comprehensive goals. In my opinion, it doesn't create jobs, it doesn't boost our local economy, and it doesn't expand housing. It doesn't support quality of life or recreation.
Marie, your 3 minutes are up.
No problem. I think I've said enough. Have a great evening. Thanks, Kevin.
Anytime.
All right, anybody else? Take a motion. Go
Mayor,
ahead.
could I make just a couple follow-up comments, some of the public comments? First of all, you know, The litigation is between the city and Mr. Steinis' company, not the neighborhood. While their input and their positions have been made well known. I know the city managers worked with them, met with them. There was a phone call a week or so ago that they met in person. I was on the phone with Mr. Malloy's permission. He couldn't make it. So they have had direct contact with the city manager and had questions and talked back and forth. Settlement discussions can sometimes be very fluid and ongoing. And as we discussed in closed session, that has kind of been the case here, where the final terms, as they might be or could possibly land on, have been pretty fluid. For the record, though, and I understand it was today, I spoke with Mr. Malloy this morning, and after some additional work on potential settlement terms, I did email him at 1:53, which obviously it's the day of the meeting, but we talked this morning. Last week we played a little phone tag. And I did give him kind of the general, the actual settlement agreement that we've been talking about is kind of part of the litigation, therefore it's not public record at this point, but I shared with him the key terms as they pertain to the neighborhood. And I'm not going to read all of this to you, but that was at 1:53 this afternoon, summarizing that some of the terms being talked about in this proposed settlement included city would become the owner of the buffer parcel through a land swap. The fence would be removed from the back lot of neighborhood lots. Fence would be installed between Steinis floodplain parcel and city parcel. And then if separately approved, which is a separate discussion, if separately approved, the floodplain land would be changed to Ag 1. And as I've reiterated to you folks a number of times, settlement and zoning are separate topics. We can't change the zoning by way of the settlement. It's just that the settlement terms have been largely contingent upon a rezoning change. Then the city would own that buffer parcel, and that would be used for city purposes, potential residential someday, et cetera. So that was communicated. There has been communication. And just to reiterate, too, when Mr. Steinis first came to you some time ago, I don't have the date, but when he first bought the property, the request was to rezone both the entire property that was in the city limits, zoned residential. That was denied. That decision was not challenged by litigation. He then divided the parcels into parcels 70-2025 and 71-25, one being the buffer parcel, one being what I'll call the floodplain parcel. So what you're here for tonight, the public hearing and potential ordinance consideration, is pure and simple on the floodplain parcel. The other parcel is residential. It would stay residential no matter what, as far as this ordinance goes, okay? When it comes to settlement agreement, as I indicated, while the neighborhood has had input and should have input, when it comes to settling litigation, that is really between the litigant and the city. A meeting, we did try to schedule a meeting where we could bring Mr. Steinis and his attorney, Mr. Malloy and his people and us together to talk about how we could come up to what the city manager called a global settlement. We weren't able to make that meeting work. We weren't able to get everybody on the same date in the same room at the same time, which was unfortunate. If we had that meeting and conditions were agreed to, those type of conditions would not be in a settlement agreement with Mr. Steinis. Those would be put into what's called a conditional rezoning agreement, where you would identify, if we rezone it, you're going to agree to these things. We can't force Mr. Steinis to agree to anything on that front. For you to approve a conditional rezoning agreement, it has to be approved in advance or during the public hearing and signed by Mr. Steinis. So if we'd had that meeting, that's what could have been generated from that, and we didn't. So the meeting just wasn't able to be put together, and it didn't happen. And I know Mr. Malloy would have liked that meeting, and we were supportive of it too. It just, schedules didn't make that work. And the last thing I'd say is, on the comprehensive plan, I know at the P&Z level, we talked about comprehensive plan, pointed out some key elements of it that might speak to this issue. We've pointed those out to you folks as well. There is language in there about residential development and infill lots. There's terms in there about water quality, floodplain, preserving natural areas. The SMART language code of the Iowa code that's cited in your comprehensive plan speaks to the preservation of agricultural property. And the comp plan is just that. It's a plan. It's always subject to change. The law requires you to consider it. And so I'm hopeful that with the city manager and my input on those kind of key terms and provisions that you have considered it when looking at this particular issue. So that's all I wanted to add, just a little bit more background to be sure everybody understood exactly what we were looking at.
Okay. Anybody else?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
We got a motion by Colister, seconded by Lyons. Close public hearing. Take the roll.
I'm sorry, who did the second?
I motioned.
Yeah. Colister made the motion, Lyons seconded.
Coleman,
Yes.
Aliger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Okay, we're back in session. Item B is a public hearing on a matter of, the proposal to enter into a formable loan agreement with Midwest Legacy Beef LLC, and they're on, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Required for a development agreement is a public hearing for an urban renewal claim that's planned, recommended by the Finance and Personnel Committee as well. Obviously, Midwest Legacy Beef in Lamont had a tragic fire a few weeks ago at this point. The forgivable loan agreement that's attached is effectively a $100,000 benefit from the city, and it's TIF claimable based off of the increase in value going from about $965 to $1.5 million. There's several contingencies involved with that would default the loan, a minimum amount of employees, making a certain dollar amount, $50,000 for 10 years, and then also tying the owners personally to the loan, not just the business. So there's quite a bit that has to occur here, and the city's not the only party assisting Midwest Legacy Beef at this point. I'm sure many of us know the Nugent story last year, that insurance and other fire recovery takes a long time. And every week that goes by in this business for raw dog food or high-end quality dog food, they're losing a certain number of customers back, or losing a certain number of customers. So they classified it as being cannibalized. They state they're at about 60% capacity, and if you've driven up towards Maple Street, you can see how quickly that entire group is getting back to work. And so there's a workforce here that has potential to move to Maquoketa, have kids in daycare systems in Maquoketa, and for people to spend here in Maquoketa. And I think for many reasons this makes sense for you to continue to approve tonight.
Is there any talk of them staying in Maquoketa?
Absolutely.
They are gonna
Yes,
stay?
so that thank you for asking that. They do have to rebuild Lamont. They are splitting the business, splitting operations for the business. That's tied to what can and cannot be rebuilt in Lamont, but their growth has been extraordinary the last several years, and I never fed my dogs raw dog food, but I guess it's a major thing, and they're very high value in the market and very well liked.
Okay. Anybody in the audience wish to get up and address this issue? Anybody on Zoom?
Motion to close.
Motion by Colister to close public hearing,
Second.
seconded by Hayward. Go ahead and take the roll.
Aliger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
Okay, we move on to our consent agenda, which consists of the minutes of the March 16th, 2026 regular city council meeting, the minutes of the March 25th, 2026 special city council meeting, bills payable through April 6th, 2026 in the amount of $380,511.63, the reappointment of Josh Colister to the Downtown Incentives Board, renewal of a Class C retail alcohol license filed by La Casa de Pancha, renewal of a cigarette permit filed by Fairway Store, number 639. Renewal of a cigarette permit filed by Quick Star, number 212. The renewal of a cigarette permit filed by Quick Star, number 894.
So moved.
Motion by Colister. Seconded by Alinger. If you have no discussion, take the roll.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Aliger.
Yes.
All right, that gets us to new business, and item A is an ordinance, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Maquoketa, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to public hearing requirements, and this is the first reading.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple of these ordinances here, if you have the votes, are not critical to the municipal code here tonight. So if you do wish to suspend the rules, feel free to do so to finish them. First one being, we go through a codification every year, as you've known. Public hearing requirements for planning and zoning matters is being changed. I underscored 4 days because that word used to be 7 days in our code. The proposal is to change one simple word from 7 to 4 as mandated by the state code change. So I really have nothing further to add on this, but if you have the votes and are feeling moving them on, feel free.
So moved.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Alinger. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules and move to the second reading.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister, seconded by Alinger. And if we have no discussion, take the roll.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
Motion for the second reading.
We have a motion for the second reading. Do we have a second? Seconded by Coleman. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll.
Yes. Motion for the third reading.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Coleman, to take the third reading. Any discussion? Take the roll.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. We move on to item B, which is an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Maquoketa, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to liquor licenses and wine and beer permits. This is the first reading. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a ton to add. Again, a codification requirement here. Caught up, Jan? Very good. Council questions on this? It's just a definition change in the state code.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Colister, seconded by Bennett, or seconded by Alinger, sorry. Any discussion here? Then take the roll.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes. Motion to suspend the rules and move to the second and third readings.
Second.
We have a motion by Colister, seconded by Lyon. Any discussion on this? And take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
Motion for the second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Colister for the second reading, seconded by Hayward. Any discussion on this? Then take the roll.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
Is that the third or second?
Back time.
Motion on third reading.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Colister, seconded by Alinger, to go to the third reading. Do we have any discussion on this? Right, take the roll.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Okay, passes. Item C is an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Maquoketa, Iowa by amending provisions pertaining to cigarette and tobacco permits. This is the first reading.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Bennett, or second,
Alinger.
second by Alinger. Any discussion? And go ahead and take the roll.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
Motion to suspend the rules and move to the second and third readings.
The motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Hayward. Any discussion this time? Then go ahead and take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll.
Yes. Motion for the second reading.
A A motion by Colister for the second reading,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. Is there any discussion here? And take the roll.
Colister,
Yes.
Colvin,
Yes.
Aliger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Motion on the third reading?
A motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Hayward. And if we still have no discussion, take the roll.
Colvin,
Yes.
Aliger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. We move on to item D, an ordinance to rezone property submitted by Big Country Properties LLC, the property being identified as parcel number 145183040003400, illegally described as parcel 71-2025 in the city of Maquoketa, Iowa, as disclosed by Plat of Survey recorded on September 14th, 2025 as Jackson County Recording Document number 25-2739 from R1 Residential District to A1 Agriculture District, and this is the first reading.
So moved.
But, Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
Thank you, though. Couple things. We're handling this agenda one at a time. That's been well described to you, but absent anything else, if this passes tonight, the R1 code on that buffer parcel, if it stays that way, is enforced. We have a municipal code to stand by. There's a substantial distance from residential property to the proposed ag. That's part of planning and zoning's recommendation here tonight. Flood prone, and for much of the reasons I described in the public management background in the public hearing section of this. Administrator, attorney feel that isolating just this proposal is the recommendation from our desks. So some of this will fall into place later. This is just a first reading tonight. I do not recommend suspending the rules, but ideally we pass this the next 3 meetings overall. So that's all I'll add unless you have other questions.
Okay. We have a motion, we have a second? Or did you have to
That's
make?
motion.
You just, the motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Rickrell. Do we have any discussion on this? Take the roll.
Aliger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
No.
Colister,
No.
Colvin.
Yes.
Okay. Do we want to go to a second reading or let it slide?
Mayor, we
No.
didn't meet the votes and
We didn't
the
meet the votes.
recommendations to
Okay.
handle one meeting at a time.
Okay, very good then. All right, we move on. A resolution approving settlement or contingency settlement agreement with Big Country Properties LLC in the city of Maquoketa. Go ahead.
I don't have any other background to offer on this right now.
Anybody want to make a motion? Motion dies for lack of a second,
Lack of a motion.
lack of a motion. We move on to item F, resolution approving a quote from Strucken Urban Paving Incorporated for the Alley's micro surfacing project in the amount of $85,837.60.
So moved.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Lyon. Any discussion? And take the roll.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Colvin,
Yes.
Aliger,
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
All right, next we have a resolution approving a UMB Bank, NA of West Des Moines, Iowa, to serve as the paying agent, note register, and transfer agent, approving the paying agent and note register and transfer agreement, agent agreement, and authorizing the execution of that agreement.
One of these nights, I'm gonna have an item on here that's not related to having a bond issue for the YMCA splash pad or the utility project. I'm telling you, Missy and Jan are gonna stop recommending them for council action. But The next two are related still. So this is bond procedural information from Allers and Cooney and the next process with approving this for disbursement for us.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Lyon. Any discussion on this? Then go ahead and take the roll.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Item H is a resolution approving and authorizing a form of loan agreement and authorizing and providing for the issuance of $3,405,000 general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2026A, and levying a tax to pay said notes, approval of the tax exemption certificates, and continuing a disclosure certificate.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Lyon. Any discussion on this matter? Okay, then take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll.
Yes.
Okay, that one passes. Item I is a resolution approving and authorizing execution of forgivable loan agreement by and between the City of Maquoketa and Midwest Legacy Beef LLC.
So moved. Second.
Real quick, Mayor, did receive a message from Kelly Brown, Jackson County Economic Alliance. We were pursuing signatures on this development agreement through the weekend. Things have been moving quickly. Did not have all the signatures today, so motion on this is requested contingent on them actually signing the agreement before the city, and then we would execute this agreement. So I would just make a note in that motion that it's contingent upon receiving that agreement signed by them.
Motion is discussed. Second.
Okay, we have the motion and second. All in favor, or go ahead and take the roll.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon.
Yes.
All right, that passes. Item J is a resolution extending an agreement and contract for fire protection for the Monmouth Township.
So moved.
Motion by Colister.
Second.
Seconded by Bennett. Any discussion here? And take the roll.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister.
Yes.
Okay, Pat, that one passes. Item K is a resolution setting a public hearing for April 10th, 2026 at 6 PM regarding proposed amendments to Chapter 165, Section 16510, Agriculture Zoning A1.
Mayor, I think you said April 10. It should be April 20.
April 20, okay. April 20th, 2026 at 6 PM regarding
So
the
moved.
proposed motion. All right,
Second.
motion by Lyon, seconded by
Hayward.
Hayward. Is there any discussion on this? Then take the roll.
Alinger,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
Okay, that one passes. Item L is a resolution accepting bids for abatement mowing.
Thank you, Mayor. We bid this out every year just to check pricing in the market if we happen to get into a scenario where someone has a grass or weed violation. They do occur, frequent in April, May, June. Then the weather dries out a bit, but we get a $25 administrative charge plus the mow and grow lawn care fee per person per half hour. So this is our regular process. It's not a city activity, but this is cost efficient for us. The dollars, and a lot of times we get a question of why so expensive for per half hour. And the answer we usually get from contractors, just from your own knowledge, if you have one of these phone calls, is what it takes to sharpen blades when you're mowing 12-inch grass on a residential property. It consumes a lot of time, so.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Colister, seconded by Alinger. And is there any discussion on this? And take the roll.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickroll,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Alinger.
Yes.
All right, that passes. Item M is a resolution authorizing the city clerk to make the appropriate interfund transfers of sums and record the same in the appropriate manner for fiscal year 25-26 for the City of Maquoketa, Iowa.
I couldn't tell you line for line what's exactly and due to, due from, but this is typical long chart of accounts that happens annually at this time of year regarding the budget amendment, and this is a routine item that, yes, has been reviewed by the Finance and Personnel, but is an accounting output in your council backup packet.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Colister, seconded by Lyon. Any discussion? And take the roll.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haylager,
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Okay, that one passes. Item N is a resolution setting a public hearing for April 20th, 2026 on the proposed fiscal year 26-27 budget.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Alinger. Any discussion on this one? Take the roll.
Rickrell,
Yes.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haylager,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward.
Yes.
That one passes. Item O is a discussion and possible motion approving payment for the rescue truck chassis in the total amount of $309,000.14 payable to Toyne.
So moved.
Motion by Colister,
Second.
seconded by Hayward. Any discussion on this? Then take the roll.
Lyon,
Yes.
Colister,
Yes.
Coleman,
Yes.
Haylager,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hayward,
Yes.
Rickrell.
Yes.
All right, that one passes. We make it now to item 12, which is reports and communications. Anything from any of the city council members? City manager?
I just want to note that Glovic Park is receiving its sodding actively, which means a lot to me, should mean a lot to you, I hope. It's been a long time to get to this point, and it is good news and great to see. Second, the city recently received Iowa Economic Development Authority site certification on its industrial park officially. We're seeking to have Executive Director Debbie Durham out. She's Executive Director of the EDA in the Iowa Finance Authority for an on-site celebration for that. So look forward to an invite plus utilities. And what that does is really lets a developer know, or anyone interested in expanding business in Maquoketa, that our ground is absolutely shoveled ready. There's no protected wetlands. There's no hidden surprises, as they would say, underneath the dirt. And so it's a lot of advantages here, and we're placed into a company of around 20 properties out of about 1,700 on the state lowest system. So we had a state grant in this, and we're proud to finally be at this point. And within the month, maybe 2 months, you might see a new sign down at the Highway 61 Industrial Park emphasizing this opportunity.
Okay, very good.
Motion to adjourn.
Before you adjourn, just a reminder, our closed session tonight to discuss litigation between council, elected officials, and myself as your legal counsel is 100% confidential. If you talk about outside the closed session, we lose privilege. So just a reminder that that whole discussion and debate on the litigation topic remains confidential.
Okay. That being said, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.
Record.